Not sure exactly which one of these squads is going to call the first timeout, or if any squad's going to call a timeout, but it is something nice to have in your back pocket.
It is definitely a nice thing to have for either end of the field right now, because there is a world where either team definitely could need it. And like we said, Ninjas in Pajamas just coming off of a 3-1 win over Not Erased, so they are warmed up, they are ready to go, and FURIA kind of sitting on this cold, although I will say I don't think they are incapable of going for a warm-up scrim today if they had so chosen. There is a world where they scrim to head into this one, but for now, good sign of life is that first 30 seconds stay scoreless.
Yeah, they definitely more than likely were getting warmed up before this matchup. I highly doubt they're coming into this one ice cold. That would be an extreme level of confidence that, that I don't even know if FURIA is ready to have. So we'll see right now if Ninjas in Pajamas are going to be able to answer the call and fight back and give this FURIA roster a run for their money. But that might not be the way to start it. But a save coming in from Knight is going to keep FURIA off the board.
And it's not going to stop there. FURIA, as soon as one person takes a shot, again, their rotations are incredible. This is a top team. We've seen them perform at LAN. They've made a grand final. Like, this is the team to try and beat. And it is going to be a very difficult one at that. But it is not impossible, especially, again, for Ninjas in Pajamas. They're head-to-head. There is a world where NIP has beaten them, and they could possibly do it again here.
Question is, who's going to strike first? Is Ninjas in Pajamas going to be able to get that first goal and set the tone and let FURIA know, hey, this is not going to be smooth sailing? Or is FURIA going to be able to clean up like they're looking like they're trying to right now and get the first goal? It's not going to be the case. Once again, it is denied. FURIA now back on the offensive end, just trying to make sure that this NIP roster has to keep on scrambling on their back half, doing a great job of making sure that stays consistent. Drop down in front of the net one more time, can't get the finish. FURIA all over this ball, but it is Ninjas in Pajamas holding the line.
Lost, excuse me, just trying to slow things down on the goal line, send it back, but Swift gonna take a shot of his own. Ninjas in Pajamas, their cup of tea really has just been play a patient game and take a couple shots when the opportunity is presented in front of you, but this one feels a little bit different. You kind of have to just take everything and hope something turns into an opportunity. Jaffinho takes a long clear up field. You already saw Yan lurking for those bumps and those demos. And FURIA just really trying to work together to get this one through, but the defense, they've been doing an incredible job at predicting a lot of these shots so far, and they managed to keep FURIA at bay.
Keeping them at bay for now, but you can tell FURIA starting to ramp up this offensive pressure. The question is, will NIP end up cracking sooner than later? Or will they be able to find an answer? Maybe FURIA are going to leave themselves susceptible to a counterattack if they get a little bit too aggressive, trying to make something happen. But Swift looking for the double, not able to connect. But a good opportunity either way coming out for NIP.
Yeah, definitely not a bad shot at all, but unfortunately for him, just not quite as precise as he would have hoped for. Though another opportunity could come into his hands here. It's low boost, but Ninjas in Pajamas are on the attack right now. And time and time again, Yan is just stopping them in their tracks. Jaffinho takes this one away, lost on the follow-up, over one, into the hands of Swift, but that's not going to stop him from pushing this one forward. It's a center if somebody took the shot off the goal line. And luckily for Ninjas in Pajamas, nobody from FURIA was there, and they get away with murder.
A close call yet again for NIP, and that, I mean, just like that, it's not a close call. FURIA says, okay, we've had a lot of chances. Let's capitalize on one here now, and that's exactly what Jaffinho is going to do off the back end of the bump. Great stuff coming in from FURIA. Teamwork.
Yep, this is exactly what I expected from them too. A lot of these pass and plays to kind of thread the needle as far as the defense is concerned, really forcing Ninjas in Pajamas into a scramble. And it makes things so much more difficult. But I will say one thing NIP has been really good at are those initial demos to open up the goal line. You saw it right there. Astro going on in, allowed enough space for him to just kind of go back, flip it forward. You could race back all you want, Yan, but there was no saving that shot.
Great stuff all around from Astro. Being able to get that flip, secure it. Was able to get the setup and the cleanup. You love when a player is able to do both. It's right now FURIA feeling the pressure because guess what? They just got answered back within a few seconds of finding their own first goal. So understanding that Ninjas in Pajamas have the capability to strike and do it fast. With 30 seconds left on the clock, this is absolutely anybody's game.
This really is 30 seconds left here in this game number 1. It is tied. And like we made mention to, these are now best of 7s, so everything counts. It's a long haul. The more you can take early on, the harder it is for anybody to play catch up here. Astro just wanted to kill this ball, but unfortunately for him, you're going to have to go back for a save off that one. Great save from Knight. Game almost got taken away from them. Lost up next. Astro pops this one up into the air. Yan's up next to follow. 1 second on the clock, and Knight bails out Ninjas in Pajamas and sends them into OT.
I thought for sure that that was going to be a last-second goal coming in from FURIA, but no. Heading into overtime in game number 1 of this best of 7. Oh, man, this is where those chills start to come in. FURIA going to be looking to drop it down right in front of the net, gets the waterfall straight to Yan, and that's going to be it. Game number 1 goes the way of FURIA. It was close, but close doesn't matter. FURIA coming out with the victory.
14 seconds. That's all you got to play in OT. And
Ninjas in Pajamas finding a way to even up the series. They've done it before, but against FURIA, it is no easy task whatsoever. It is going to be much more difficult, much easier said than done, if you will.
Yeah, this is a really big challenge, arguably one of the toughest matches you could face off against, and there's a reason why. Lost, he's not taking it easy on nobody. Jaffinho set him up, but the pinch off the ceiling, unfortunately, from Swift, and well, you know, Lost, right place, right time, caught it, crossbar down and in, and FURIA once again on the board.
Great stuff. Oh, is Lost going to get another? Wide open net, got to fake out one more. He ended up going for it instead of being patient and waiting. I probably would have went for it too. Not mad at that, honestly. You had the opportunity, it was there. FURIA messed up a little bit off of the kickoff. Right now, Knight, or excuse me, Ninjas in Pajamas messed up off the kickoff. Excuse me. This FURIA is going to be looking to corral this one and settle it in. Get it out of their half. Try to put some more pressure onto this NIP roster.
Yeah, it hasn't been too rough for them, but not as great as I think NIP would like right now. They've been playing a lot of defense, and low boost means it's really hard to get out of your own half. And right now they're just stuck in mid. Swift getting 50'd on by Yan. Jaffinho already up in the goal line, flips forward for Lost. Lost sends this one out in the corner, but I mean, you're up by 1. You definitely have control of the game, so you can decide which shots you want to take. Demos are starting to come out already from FURIA. They want to set themselves up for success. But they do get slowed down just a little bit here. Astro over to the sidewall. Tries to pinch it forward. He does so successfully, but no plays, no shots to come out of it.
And that's the one thing, is if you're able to make these opportunities for yourself, at least give yourself a chance. Get a shot on goal. Just like that. Lost, able to capitalize as it gets centered directly to him. And he was up ready for this one.
Yep, it's honestly just, it's a crazy almost solo play from Yan initially. But again, it is teamwork. That's FURIA's name of the game. They work together to get all the way around the defense in the most awkward positioning ever. A lot of this becomes unsavable. 3:20 on the clock, still a lot of time for NIP to get back into this one. And Astro trying to find Swift, not quite quick enough to get the bump off one. But Knight gonna try and follow this one through. Yan, 30 in the tank, loses the challenge, and this one falls into the hands of Jaffinho, and FURIA. That's probably the longest we've seen them on defense in a minute.
Yeah, they've been controlling the pace of this game exquisitely so far, and you know, they've had possession pretty much, it feels like, this entire game, and Ninjas in Pajamas just haven't been able to get anything solid put together whatsoever. Another opportunity comes in. The bump was almost there to get them out of the way, as that one looked like it was potentially on target. It's another chance coming in. Astro ends up getting denied. The dunk comes out. Jaffinho gonna try to chase this one down and lock this player away. Lost gonna be the one to corral it instead. It ends up getting left off for Yan for the center. The redirect is there, but it ends up slow rolling directly into Knight's hands.
And thankfully, they walked away with a save off that one, and an attempt to make a shot forward. Let's Ninjas in Pajamas have some time on the attack. Just over 2 minutes are left here in this game number 2. Knight, shot opportunity over to the backboard. Great save from Yan, follows it through. Has to leave it for loss, low on boost. It's shot opportunity, and Swift, just last-ditch efforts to make that save. Pulls out successfully. But 1:45 on the clock, you are still down by 2. You can make all the saves in the world, but you gotta score something.
Yeah, lots of time left on the clock, but the way that this series has went so far, time is not in NIP's favor. FURIA has had control, had possession for most of this game. And if NIP want to score 2 goals in the next minute 30, they're going to really need to turn up the heat and figure out a way to crack through on this FURIA defense.
Absolutely. Right now, Ninjas in Pajamas, they're just trying to pull out all the stops, but unfortunately for them, FURIA, they have such a great read on anything that NIP tries to send their way, but what's even worse for NIP is how quick the counters come out, and that's exactly what they got to try to do it to FURIA. They did try, but they baited out the defense so far that they are making clears that are almost lethal. Thankfully for NIP, that one was just a bit wide. But even then, they scramble back, they make the saves in time, and 45 left on the clock. FURIA are comfortably in a 2-0 lead.
FURIA just needing to play a little bit of turtle defense right now. Just got to make sure that nothing comes through the back line. Do not overcommit on that offensive end, but if you have an opportunity, if they give you one, you might as well be able to take it as that center comes through, and oh, Yan tried to send it back across the net. Could have just sunk it into the left side, but the defender ended up reading that one perfectly. 20/20 hindsight for sure.
Oh, for sure. They almost look like they're predicting everything at this point. Every shot, every pass, every play. You see Jafinho just stop in his tracks. He goes back, and then Yan uses it as a setup to place this one through. 3-0 at 13 seconds. It's basically impossible at this point for Ninjas in Pajamas to get back into this game number 2, but it isn't impossible to come back in the series as a whole. But, I mean, 2 up in the series in a best of 7 is not the position you want to be in if you're NIP.
Yeah, NIP are definitely digging themselves a ditch right now. They got to figure out
point and in contention for the grand finals.
Yeah, if they take this one, it's impossible for them to get reverse swept, right? It'd be impossible, right? Casters in their words, man. You got to be careful with those guys, you know?
Yeah, that one might have just pulled off the impossible, because historically, like I said, these two, they go head-to-head very, very often, but the series scoreline is always 4-1 or 4-0 on either end, right? So nobody's actually ever reverse swept either person before. So it would be a first.
Well, there we go. Adds on to the probability of impossibility. There we go. So now FURIA is going to be looking to get on the board first, as they've done in the first couple of games. And infield pass is there, but denied by Yan on the line. Swift with a great shot. And heading back the other way is now going to be FURIA. It's going to be NIP that need to play some defense.
Knight going over one, low on boost. Great save there from Lost. The follow-up just a little bit slow from Astro, and Swift's shot actually goes back instead of forwards, which means NIP got to just restart the play. Great touch there from Yan, just stops it in its tracks. Jafinho, one touch in a second, pushes this one forward. Nobody's been able to score yet, which feels odd, but it's not a bad thing as far as NIP is concerned. That means the defense has absolutely stepped up a little bit, but it is hard to defend when you're off the field. Double demo, triple demo, Astro is through, and that's what it takes to score on FURIA.
Astro with an astronomical goal. They needed that one badly. The demo was there. Perfect play going to be coming out from NIP, and now it's going to be on FURIA to answer the call. Make sure that this one doesn't get a little bit closer. NIP are trying to make this a one-game series.
3:35 on the clock. NIP finally on the board. It has been a rough start of the series, especially coming off after the win that they just had against Not Erased. Obviously, they would have came into this a little bit confident, but there is a level of respect that goes going up against FURIA. This is a top 2 team, number 1 very, very often in South America. So the respect given to FURIA is there, but sometimes you gotta kind of forget about that a little bit and play almost dirty. Go for those demos, go for those bumps, frustrate their rotations, because right now the space that they've been given to do what they are is just a little bit too much, and FURIA might be taking advantage of it soon.
Yeah, like you said, sometimes you just got to forget about the names that you're going up against and realize at the end of the day that everybody's driving just like you, and you got to be able to figure it out, and you might be able to get the better of this squad, even though they are considered a juggernaut. And right now, NIP, they've done just that. They have the advantage halfway through this first game, but they're going to need to survive another half. And that is much easier said than done against FURIA, who are known for putting on these incredible offensive shows in rapid succession.
Well, this could have been really interesting too for Knight. I think if he had any more boost, he could have doubled it down off the ground and forward, but unfortunately for him, it just slows down. And now FURIA working together to go get a couple shots on target. This is the most defense we've seen them play in a while here. 2 minutes left in game number 3. A bump on 1, a low boost clear forward, and Ninjas in Pajamas still holding on to that 1 goal lead for life, desperately trying to turn it into 2.
NIP needing to back up. Going to corral this one on their own end. Trying to send it back the other way. Going to be looking to make a pass play happen. That is going to be denied one more time. Heading back the other way is FURIA. 90 seconds remaining in this one. FURIA going to be looking for the center. Drafinho trying to bully a player off the back line. Not going to be able to. Another bump going to be coming out. A center off the backboard, but nobody's going to be there. Everybody was a little bit hung up. But right now, FURIA right back in it. On the offensive end. One fake comes out. Demo's there and lost. Able to slot it right through the smoke. Great shot, great teamwork, great demo coming out from FURIA yet again.
I feel so bad for Knight because he rushed back and actually put himself in a position to make the save. But FURIA is so clinical when it comes to sending that first man upfield, going for the bump or the demo, and just clearing out the line of defense. And this time, no demos needed. It is just solid placement all the way around from Yan. It was a great pass and play there from Drafinho and right into the bottom 90, past the last 2 defenders. FURIA, just like that, go from 1-0 down to 2-1 and up.
Yan was able to put that right in the one spot where no defender was going to be able to get to it. Knight couldn't get back in time whatsoever. FURIA putting on a great show here in game number 3 as they found themselves down at an early deficit with that early goal from NIP. But since then, the last 2 minutes, it has been all FURIA as they're looking to hold on to this lead and take a 3-0 advantage in this series. And, I mean, if you go down 3-0, you do have a timeout. You know, that might be the time that you might need to call it. But, oh, my goodness, Swift almost say forget a timeout. Almost able to tie it up, but just barely not able to. And now heading back the other way is FURIA. Yan not able to put that one into the back of the net, but another nice opportunity for them as well.
And this isn't the end of it. 10 seconds left on the clock. One last play for Ninjas in Pajamas. Astro completely low on boost. This one just gets cleared back into the midfield, and as it gets popped into the air, into the hands of Yan, the dreams of going and stealing this game away might be crushed. It's a flick up into the air. This one caught by Astro. And Yan respecting it, still going for the play, not killing the ball. Instead, it's crossbar down, almost in, but you still walk away with the win.
Another victory
Of FURIA in a semifinal.
And the wild thing is that if you win this, like you said, this is only a semifinal. If you win this, you still would have to potentially play against Team Secret or Loud, depending on who comes out of that other side of the bracket. So no easy roads ahead for NIP if they want to end up winning this. First, they're going to have to do a miracle and come back against FURIA 4 games in a row.
They're going to try their hardest again. Historically, it goes down 4-1 or 4-0, and Ninjas in Pajamas, they want to break that curse, and it's going to start 1 goal at a time. Swift off the sidewall, over to Astro and through, and that's a great early game lead.
Are you surprised that NIP didn't call their timeout?
Honestly, no. I think sometimes a lot of teams will take that that timeout and think that it helps. Other times, some people just want to get into it. I think it's safe to say that South America is a very emotion-based region. I think that that's what makes them so much fun. And when you are like that, I think when you're down, you can turn that emotion into something very motivating. And I think that that's kind of what we saw with them being able to score right off the rip, right? And the fact that they are so much heavier into the offensive front just shows they probably just all looked at each other and were just like, no, just go into it. I don't want to stop. We know what we need to fix, like, off our heads. We're fine. And there's a world where they are familiar enough with FURIA to get back into things.
Well, that is good to hear for sure right now. But the player to watch that I had my eyes on in this one was Yan. I will say that. And he is not disappointed so far throughout this series. Throughout the entire day, honestly. But look at loss for FURIA, able to tie it up. I was going to say, I thought Yan was going to be the one that was going to need to find the equalizer, but it ends up being lost. So, close, but I knew somebody from FURIA was going to be able to find it. The way this squad has been bouncing back anytime NIP have been able to get a goal, you could just feel it coming.
Exactly. And honestly, that's a very fair prediction to be putting Yan, putting your eyes onto Yan. He is definitely that IGL for FURIA. He keeps them pushing forward. So the moment, that Lost and Jaffinho start getting in on those plays in action, that's when you start shaking in your boots a little bit if you're anybody, but in particular Ninjas in Pajamas right now.
Yeah, Ninjas in Pajamas 3 minutes and a goal away from being eliminated in this series, in this entire tournament. FURIA looking to put that final nail in the coffin here, but they're going to need to get past this NIP backline that have been playing a little bit better in this game, but is a little bit better going to be enough? That's going to be the question. And FURIA ready to answer the call, going to be waiting back on defense, is going to be lost. Yan ends up intercepting this one, trying to keep a touch onto it, keeping it heading in the NIP direction. A shot attempt going to be coming in this time for Lost. Knight gets the denial. Going to be saving this one away. A demo coming out, but not quick enough to where it won't be a little bit troublesome on the back line for NIP, and they lose out possession yet again. It drops down in front. Lost not going to be there for the cleanup. Jaffinho's there as well. Not able to get the touch he's looking for, and we're heading back the other way.
Yep, it's not going to stop here, though. Pressure still is on. Lost. Flick up to 1. Swift meets him in the air, but the follow-up from Yan comes through. It's a center from the corner. This one doesn't find its way in. Neither does the second. Lost's shot just a bit wide, and unfortunately for FURIA, those two opportunities go wayside. And Ninjas in Pajamas on the counterattack. Swift loses his 1v1 challenge off that one. Centers back. Yan wins his, though. This one towards mid. And here comes Yan. Tries to spot Lost. He's going to turn around as quickly as possible. And there you have it. You see Yan already back, stealing that boost, trying to make a center for Jaffinho. Not quite fast enough on it. But a minute 23 on the clock. Still a tied game. Just more pressure from either end of the field right now as time goes on.
Yeah, the question is, who is going to crack under the pressure? Are NIP going to be able to do the impossible and start this comeback? Or FURIA going to run away with this one? Knight trying to keep this one clear, making sure the FURIA doesn't have any opportunities. The center was there for FURIA. The demo ends up coming out as well. That's going to be Yan. Swift with the save one more time. It seems like every single time the FURIA are throwing something at this NIP roster, right now at least, NIP have been able to catch it and throw it right on back.
Oh my gosh, the double from Astro. I thought there is a world where this finds its way through, but defense is reigning tried and true for now. It is the follow-up pass from Knight to Swift that puts Ninjas in Pajamas in a lead with 36 left to go.
Hey, you said it. It's a lot of 4-1s in this team matchup history, so maybe that's going to be the case. Is that the writing on the wall? If FURIA don't want that to be the case, they're going to need to find the answer with 30 seconds left in this one. It's definitely possible with this squad. We know how talented they are and what they're capable of, but NIP holding strong for now. Going to need to keep this up.
Exactly. They got to keep this ball in their possession for as long as possible. Shot on target, sent off by Astro. Lost with the follow-up. Has the angle. All three players commit, though, and keep it out. 6 on the clock. Yan over 1. Astro's slight touch to keep them in the game. And here comes Lost. This ball's going to get taken away. Killed onto the ground. NIP. Where this could be our first one today on Champ Sunday.
Yeah, an upset here would be massive. If they're able to get 2 games back-to-back, that's where FURIA is going to start to question themselves a little bit. Say, okay, are we playing this wrong? What's going wrong, guys? Maybe that's when we'll get our first timeout of the series. I'd almost guarantee that we would. But like you stated, these squads, they're pretty emotional. You never know. They might just want to get right back into it.
I have the same feeling. I feel like they just kind of want to get in and play it. That's the vibe I've been getting off of this one. Off the backboard, it was a strong shot, but a crazy redirect from Yan puts FURIA in counter-attack mode. 30 seconds in. Pressure has gone back and forth a multitude of times in such a short period of time. And Ninjas in Pajamas just having to defend a lot of these long, strong clears from FURIA. One shot, again, saved off by Swift. Better follow-ups, though, from Ninjas in Pajamas could be a good sign of life here.
Be a great sign of life for this roster, but heading back the other way, looking for the potential double, but Astro is going to be right there on the backboard waiting to catch that one. Yan, is he going to be able to slip it through, leave it off for one of his teammates? Not quite. The center was there. The challenge comes through. Is it going to be enough? Not quite sure. Yan is up one more time, but the clear ends up coming through for NIP, and yet again, they hold the line, making sure the FURIA do not get the first goal of the game.
Yep, they're just playing a patient game right now, waiting for these opportunities to arise, not trying to force create too many right now. Yan on the other side of things almost hits a banger off of the sidewall, doesn't quite connect to it, and they try again. Here comes Lost, loses this one over to Knight, but the follow from Jaffinho. Double off the backboard, denied. It's a demo and a follow-up attempt. Drop down over to 1, sent off for their efforts, and the counter comes through. Low on boost, but Knight to take a shot of his own. This one finds its way in, and NIP take the lead.
I don't know how Knight was able to squeeze this one through. Oh, man, just barely able to get it into that corner. Yan not able to get back in time. And NIP getting that first goal is huge in this game, number 5.
It really is. A lot of the times historically that Ninjas in Pajamas are able to get onto the board, it's easier for them to put out a more frustrating game for FURIA. They can focus a little bit more defensively on themselves. This one to the backboard, Astro over to the sidewall, but Lost sends this one back. And again, it's FURIA now put in a position where you have to respond now. But it allows some space and focus on defense. Extremely low boost, though, for NIP. It's just Jaffinho trying to force this one in. And unfortunately for him, Lost's touch was just a bit too strong.
And right now, I will say what else is too strong is the defense from NIP. They've been holding that line exceptionally well. Knight with another save coming out. It's going to be Yan one more time. Going to be looking to 1v3. Oh my gosh, they both jumped. They both jumped for it. And Yan said, that's fine. I'll let it just drop on down.
Sometimes less is more. You can just mind game your way through the net at times. It takes one on-target shot and moving your car a little bit around to confuse the defenders on the field. That's exactly what went down. 2 minutes left to go. Tied game with FURIA coming back into this one. Knights up next. Shot sent off to the corner. And here comes Yan. Lots of boost to work with and space over one. Bump to the backboard. Swift with a clear.
Big clear was definitely necessary. You don't want this squad to get any type of momentum whatsoever. FURIA going to be looking to grab that momentum by the horns here and now, but with only 90 seconds remaining, is that going to be possible? Swift takes it back the other way, and a little bit of miscommunication coming out for FURIA as that one goes through.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, Lost was just very low on boost, and Jaffinho tried to race back and bail him out, but it just wasn't enough. The ball was just going way too fast to catch up to, and Ninjas in Pajamas, just like that, are back in the race in the semifinal with a 1-goal lead. We do have a pause off this one, though. I'm not 100% sure why, and I'm sure we'll find out here in a moment, but for the time, and even for some of them, a minute at a time. But we are going to get right back into the swing of things. Not too much has changed. We just head back into kickoff here with Ninjas in Pajamas still in their 1-goal lead.
And is that 1-goal lead going to be enough? This FURIA roster has been known for some wild comebacks, and it looks like they might be down and out. They find a way. So yet again, another opportunity to do just that. FURIA able to hit it back down one more time. Jaffinho looking for the pass. It ends up getting taken away before Lost can get any type of touch onto it. And now one more time, NIP having the control. The demo comes out. Can they make a play with it? No, not quite. It's all Yan.
They're going to try their hardest, but Swift killed that play in its tracks. But Lost trying to bring it back to life. No sign of the demo play being successful that time. A demo to open up, but no follow-up from his teammates there. 33 left on the clock here. Astro trying to take this one away. It goes back towards that net there. This could be dangerous. Jaffinho couldn't make the angle on it, but the pressure isn't going to stop there. FURIA still just one demo after the other. And Ninjas in Pajamas, they are holding on for dear life in these last 12 seconds.
Yeah, another demo coming out. They're coming out left, right, and center right now as FURIA is trying to do everything possible to just get it past. And oh my gosh, that opportunity was there, and that might have been the best chance that they had in the last couple of minutes. But NIP answer the completely out of the cards for them to be able to get this reverse sweep, just because I think that this team has the capabilities to do it. You know, they've shown a lot of grit and gut, and right now FURIA, they've shown some cracks.
I couldn't agree more. I think as time is going on, FURIA they found some gaps in the defense that were able to get taken advantage of, and now FURIA, they're kind of playing not necessarily catch up, but they are struggling to re-find their footing. This is new territory for them to be having to slow down NIP this much. And this isn't a place or a position that they want to be in. Jaffinho popping this one up. This one over to the backboard. Follow-up sent off by Astro and Swift, but that is still not enough to stop Yan from finding his way through the net. FURIA are first to score.
You can see all three players were right there in front of him, and Yan still with the confidence to be able to slot that one in right past every single one of them. And that's FURIA opening up exactly how they wanted to in this game. They wanted to come out hot and make sure, all right, any confidence you might have had, let's get rid of it ASAP.
Exactly. Just really just showing no respect as much as they can, and I'm sure they do off the field, but in the moment, that is not the time to do so. A minute into this game, FURIA has got themselves in a 1-goal lead, which is good positioning for them, but there is plenty of time to go. Double commit to make sure that this one stays out of the net. Swift from the ceiling, but this shot's to the backboard. Astro trying to take one on target. Great goal line save there from Lost. Great counter. The demo's coming through. The shot is in, and FURIA goes up 2-0.
Off the backs of the demos, Yan gonna be right there. He says, okay, cool, we got a 2-on-2 situation. I'll just put it on target. Teammate goes for the bump, not even needed because it's already through. So FURIA gonna be getting that 2-0 advantage right now in this game number 6. FURIA clearly does not want to go to that game number 7 where anything can happen.
They do not. That is when things very much start to become a coin toss situation, because you've lost control for so long, right? So they're definitely trying to regain it. So far, they've done a great job of doing so. However, it's not as consistent as we saw in the early stages of this particular series. So FURIA holding on to a 2-0 lead, not too bad, but Ninjas in Pajamas, it's not impossible for them to be able to respond. Now, 3 might be a little bit more difficult, but it's a great save from Swift and a pinch clear out from Knight.
Yeah, another super close chance right there from FURIA. I thought that would have been one for sure. But either way, I mean, they'll be fine with at least getting another opportunity, because the way they're opening up right now, these opportunities are coming in by the bunches. Ninjas in Pajamas are going to need to find a way to slow down the pace of this FURIA roster, but you can't have it slow down to a halt, because you got to score a couple of goals yourself. And right now, the way the NIP have been playing, it's a lot more defensive than trying to make some offensive plays, and that's mainly because FURIA isn't allowing them to make anything happen, as my goodness, Swift had to come in and save the day again.
Yeah, as time's going on, Ninjas in Pajamas are really just struggling to kind of find a way to work together and stay in a position where they can take a few shots. They've been so spread out that they're kind of forcing themselves into these 1v1s that realistically you're just going to lose every time. At the end of the day, it is still FURIA. You got to respect how incredible they are individually, but as a team, they are an absolute unit to have to go up against. You see Knight bailing off the play. Yan just takes it away. It's a shot low on the ground, but a slight touch puts this one off to the side, and a clear just off target, doesn't quite find its way in, but again, sends Ninjas in Pajamas running home.
And like a well-oiled machine, Drafinho gonna be able to put in another. As we talked about it, if 2 is a cushion, 3 is a whole bed, and they've got that right now. Got that Tempur-Pedic on lock, having that 3-0 advantage in this game number 6. FURIA is looking good.
Oh yeah, this is the FURIA that, you know, starts to show up when they're in any sort of territory that they might be losing something. Yan doubles it, might have tripled it, at least got 3 touches for sure to make sure that this one found its way in. This is an insane shot and an immense amount of control to make sure that this ball still found its way through. And there you have it. FURIA, 4 goals on the board, 4 goals unanswered to as far as NIP is concerned, and 1 minute and 17 seconds away from a grand final.
Lots of patience, lots of control coming in from FURIA in this game. And it's only right that they've been having such a masterful performance, because the last couple of games for them have looked a little bit lackluster, a little bit shaky. But they're able to bounce back, just like the FURIA that we know and love. And now it's going to be a long road for NIP to get back, not only in this game, but in this series. And right now, the odds of them getting back into this game are looking really, really bleak, because FURIA are just controlling every single aspect of it, and that clock is not on NIP's side.
No, it is not. 30 seconds. That is all that remains. It's not impossible, but as the clock winds down, it definitely is becoming so. Drafinho just keeping this away from them, crushing the dreams with that double top off the back. 5-0, 17 seconds. I mean, you have to call it there. FURIA are headed to another grand final.
Heading back, and they're going to be feeling really good about the way they did it. A lot of close games yet again, but in the final one, the one that really mattered, where they wanted to put their foot down, able to get 5 goals already, and still looking for more, trying to just put even more pressure onto this NIP roster, even though it's so unnecessary at this point. And just want to say props to FURIA, you know, yet again.